Hey, welcome to Keight Krafts. I'm Kate. Today I would like to share with you my make for the Hopping Along and Growing Our Love for Lawn Fawn Hoppin' giveaway. Let's get started. So to kick things off, I have gone ahead and die cut the Zesty Lemon set out of some Recollections shimmered cardstock. And it's not the greatest cardstock for Copic coloring on, but we're not going to be too particular with our blend here. I just want to create a slight gradient with these yellows just to give it a little bit of interest. And the shimmer kind of makes me think of maybe I pulled this lemon from the fridge and it's a hot summer day and I'm going to make myself some lemonade. And it's sitting on the counter collecting a little bit of condensation before I decide to cut it open. And those little triangle bits with the slits in them, well, those are just the little bits of lemons that are going to go into that rind that you see off to the left-hand side. Now, I'm sorry I'm not zoomed in for this because my computer is out of commission for right now, and I am using my iPad, so you get to see the mess around my project. So I apologize for that. And on the topic of my mess, I should probably give you a little heads up as to what we're doing today, if you're new here and do not know. And if you aren't new here and you've been around for a while, you know what I'm about to say next. I welcome you to my stop of the Fab 5 Hopping Along and Growing Our Love for Lawn Fawn Hoppin' giveaway. This hop is generously sponsored by none other than Lawn Fawn. Each of us participating in this hop will be sharing creative ideas using new and old Lawn Fawn products. We hope that you find inspiration with each video that you hop along with us. To enter, please leave a comment by April 27th, 2024 by 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. Not too sure what to say? A simple hi will do. A winner will be announced on April 29th over on the Fab 5 Paper Crafters Facebook page and Instagram. Failure to claim your prize within 1 week will result in a new winner being picked. And for the lineup, if you haven't read the description or if you're just starting your hop with me, we have none other than the wonderful Inky and Scrappy. We have Jessica Squirrels and myself. And filling in for Jordy and Steph because they are out doing some wonderful things in the world right now, we have the wonderful Maker Moose and the wonderful Vicky from the Craftacular Creator back sharing their projects and talents with us as Jordy and Steph are off doing amazing things. So with that being said, let's continue on with my project. So far you've seen the lemon zest, or the Zesty Lemon. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying that backwards. I've had to do that takeover so many times. The Zesty Lemon, and then we've got this hay here from You Goat This, and we are going to also be coloring in, if I haven't yet. No, here we go. Meow you doing. I just love how that comes out of the mouth. Meow you doing. So we are coloring the cute little cat from Meow You Doing, and I will also be using Henry's ABCs to create my sentiment. So now I'm a little kind of iffy about this one right here. I wish I would have used some lighter colors because these E4947 are a little bit dark, and I believe I used Crunchy Leaf to stamp everything out in because I didn't want to have that black ink, and I wanted it to blend in with the colors that I would be using for the cat. Now, if you had some of the lighter E40 markers, like the 43 and maybe the 45, if that one exists, I forget the E markers. I only have these ones in the E40s. I don't have any others, and I don't know. I think if I would have had a lighter color for the cat, it would have blended in a little bit better. Because to me, I fuss with this one and I fuss with this one. And I end up getting it to where I'm satisfied and haven't totally, hated it. But I'm not pleased with it. But you know what? I think in the end, I think it all ties in really nicely together. So you can see me going back and forth on this paper. This is some Nina Solar Crest. No, is it Solar Crest? I think it's... Solar White. 80-pound cardstock. And this stuff really takes a beating with the Copic colors because you can see how much ink that I'm laying down, and it just keeps taking it. And when you lay down the lighter colors on top of the darker colors, it just basically pushes the darker color through the paper. And this is why you want a Copic color on thicker quality paper, because the ink gets pushed into the paper, and the more ink you layer on top, the more it pushes the bottom layer down. Or so I understand anyway. So now that we've got that colored in, I'm going to push in some of those little miscolors there with the colorless blender. I'm going to push that back into the cat and down into the paper, just so you've got those cleaner edges to deal with. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to go and take that darker E49 marker, and just to give it just a little bit more definition where there is shadow on this cat. And again, I'll go in with my little blender marker, kind of lighten a little bit up, and then I'll go in with that E43 and the E47. And once I have fussed and fussed and fussed, we are going to take a black Glaze Sakura pen, and we are going to add in the whiskers and the eyes and the nose because they didn't quite show up. And then we are going to take a little bit of this Jelly Roll pen and a 10, and we are going to add some dots and dashes just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then we will also do that to the little hay bale as well. And I just like how this ties everything, and it gives it a little bit of something to look at than just the image itself. I don't always do this because I do really struggle with the white gel pens and not coming out properly, but every so often I get lucky, and I'm quite happy with how it turns out. So now that we've got that out of the way, we are going to glue together our little lemon pieces. So first I'm going to start off with gluing together our little lemon slice here, and I'm going to take all of the little bits and pieces that go inside of it and flip them all over, so that way all I've got to do is glue them in. So I'm going to make sure that that glue's coming out, and we're going to go little bits of dots around. You don't want to oversaturate this with glue because it'll ooze out the edge, and you want to make sure that you have just enough but not too much, because this isn't going to completely be covering the little circle here. So you'll be able to see. So this is why I colored it in two different colors of yellow. So we have the light yellow, which is the rind, and then we have the dark yellow, which would be the skin, and that little bit in the center is going to get covered up by the little orange slices. So I'm just going to pick my pickup stick and use my pokey tool to move everything around. And we'll make sure that everything's in there nice and snug. And, you know, as much as I don't use a lot of dyes, I find them kind of nice once they're done. It just gives it that little extra, I don't know, they're starting to grow on me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really, really, really do love coloring. I think it's one of my favorite things about card making is coloring with the alcohol markers, or sometimes the colored pencils, although they take forever to color with. But yeah, I really do like the alcohol markers. I think they are like a media that I wish I would have played with sooner, kind of thing. Like, I wish I'd had them when I was growing up as a teenager or something, because they probably would have been my medium of choice. So next we are just going to take a little tiny dollop of glue, and we're going to glue that little stem down, hold it there for a second, and then we're going to take that leaf and we're going to glue that leaf right onto that stem too, just to give it a little bit of extra. And once my fingers have fiddled around, we're going to hold that into place to make sure you get a bit of adhesion. And then next, we are going to add some glue to the back side of our lemon, and we are going to glue it onto our little lemon base. Again, I've colored the lemon base a little bit darker than the actual lemon itself, so that way when those holes line up with where they need to be, it's a little bit darker, so it looks a little concaved. So next, I've taken this scrap piece of paper that I've colored on, and I'm going to use it kind of as a stencil, and I'm going to create a little bit of a base. Now, it didn't matter whether or not that I use this or not, because I end up putting a little bit of a band that you can see on the right-hand side there across this, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So I'm just taking some of this celery stick, and I'm going pretty heavy-handed around the edges here, or the middle here, I should say, just to give a bit of a, I guess, a centered background, or focal point piece of where all my stuff is going to go. And that little piece of scrap paper is preventing me from going any further than where I want. So I've gone ahead and I've glued everybody down where it needs to be. And next we are just going to take our little sentiment here and we are going to glue everybody down. Now I've tucked the I've glued down the bale hay, oh my god. I'm in the home stretch and I've already lost my words. Jamie's gonna kick me for this one, but the bale of hay, and then we glued down the orange, the lemon, and then the lemon zest, and then the cat, and now we're going to put hey there sourpuss. And if I didn't mention, I was kind of in a mood when I made this card, and I was feeling kind of sour, and I couldn't figure out what kind of card I wanted to make for this hop, and then it just like, Jamie told me to just get to it and make what comes to mind and grab what I have on my desk, and I came up with hey there sourpuss because I was in a mood and I thought it was funny. So I'm just taking some Sakura Stardust pen, adding some little dots because I didn't feel like gluing any sequins or rhinestones or anything on this. And I'm going to use it and add a little bit of glisten to the lemon and the lemon slice there, and then some on the leaves. And then my card is complete. I've gone ahead and glued it to a card base, and there you have it. I really hope you enjoyed today's project. I encourage you to hop along with us and enter for a chance to win. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care.